Continuing with the GMAC men's basketball preseason preview, Davis and Elkins College, and we're joined now by first-year head coach Nick Patella. And Coach, first, welcome to the GMAC, and I'm sure it's been a really busy time for you transitioning into Davis and Elkins. What have been a few of your priorities early on?
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, and very, very proud to represent Davis and Elkins in Elkins, West Virginia, where I grew up in a hometown. So thank you for that. Coming in, I'm trying to establish our core, which is person, student, athlete, and that's what we're getting to. So that was my first priority. We got to be the right person. We're polite and everything else, the whole 9 yards. But who we're representing, it's bigger than just yourself now. And then the student aspect, we got to be right in the classroom. It's a student athlete, not an athlete student. So we kept that mentality, and that's what we're really trying to drive home, because we all know, basketball ends playing wise for everybody at some point. So what are we going to do after that? Play as long as you can. I'm all for it. Hope these guys can play a professional career, but there's 100,000 other guys with the same dream. So person, student, athlete's been our kind of motto this year. And then driving home, what we're trying to do, what are we trying to play? What's our style? Who are we? When coaches and other teams look at us, what are they going to say? So we want to be tough to guard. We want to be someone that pesters a little bit and is up in your grill and can guard a little bit on the ball and off the ball. So we've got to instill the toughness. So kind of those aspects really off the bat here, but it is a challenge, and haven't had a whole lot of time to get there.
As a former Division I student athlete at West Virginia with NCAA tournament experience, how has that playing experience translated into a passion for coaching?
Yeah, there's nothing like it. I mean, as everyone knows, you see the games on TV in March, and it's just the atmosphere and what it brings to that. So every day when we in the huddle, that is our goal, is the NCAA tournament. So we say NCAA every day, because ultimately that's the experience you're really looking for these kids to experience something at their highest level, and that is the highest level, is that tournament, making it there. Conferences or teams like West Liv in our area, they've done it year in, year out. Talking to Coach Crutchfield today, and just touching base there, and the whole experience his teams are having, that's what it's about. So driving that passion home has got me to get these kids to have that experience. So I really want the best for them.
Now, this year's roster at Davis and Elkins is loaded with freshmen upon first glance. At your website, will a handful of them be pressed into duty right away?
Yeah, obviously you look at us, and if, you take a close look, there's 12, 14 freshmen, and then off the court and on the other side of the paper, I got 3 or 4 more who are kind of partials and, waiting with a red shirt year involved. So, inevitably, with 4 returners, one guy's going to get a whole lot of minutes, but we're going to look in, and we're going to have 4 guys, 8 deep. That's just the only way you can really roll, and you're going to have injuries. We know that as coaches, we don't want them, but you got to prepare for that. So you got to prepare 10, 11 guys sometimes, and then even for practice purposes, you got to have those other people in there with the scout team, which I'm very familiar with, and I was a big part of WVU, but you got to have a scout team who can challenge your top 5, your top 8, your top 10, so they know that their role isn't safe. So that is our biggest thing, is getting these freshmen to understand the practice mentality of college basketball and the preparation that it takes. And it's not a 6 to 8 practice. It's, are you in there before? Are you in there after? Are you working on your game? But are you able to take in the information in that practice? Can you mentally handle what I'm trying to give you? So that is, and it's a freshman thing, and that's acceptable for a little while, but then, we all got to grow up. And the old adage is the best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores. So, we're just trying to grind and mold them into what we want to do here in the next few years.
And without revealing your cards or game plan too much, what are some of the qualities and fundamentals, I know you touched on them a little bit earlier, but that you really want to hammer home and instill in your program in year one?
Yeah, we have to be tough, just not physically, but mentally tough. We got to be resilient. We got to be able to come back from a night where you get beat in a snow situation and you're driving home and it's late. You got to get up to go to class, and then we're watching film the next day. We got to be able to forget that. And I think Alex is a senior, Wes and KBD is 2 juniors, and then Rick Bellevue coming back off the freshman team. Those are the core guys, and they gotta kind of hop on board, and they have, and that's huge for us. So expectations aren't too high, but it's nice being underneath. But we got to be tough, and I'm a John Beeline guy, and I kind of want to take some of his stuff away because being voted best offensive mind by your peers, which he was just here recently, that speaks volumes. We're going to touch on some zone stuff. I don't know how much of the 1-3-1 I can get into, but we're going to focus on fundamentals, control what we can control. We can control how we communicate, and we can control our effort. So if we can, get those things, the communication and the effort, we'll be in a lot more games than this team was last year.
Coach, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Really looking forward to seeing you and the Senators in action this season.
Yeah, thank you for having us, and we're very excited to get on the hard court.
As part of the GMAC men's basketball preseason preview, continue with Davis and Elkins, and joined by senior forward Aleksander Vasiljevic. And Alex, the roster has a bit of an overhaul this year. You're the lone senior. What kind of leadership role does that fall on you for this season?
Being only senior, I don't think I'm going to be the only leader. Since we have 4 returners, me, Wesley, Rick, and Kevin, I know they're going to help me a lot, get new guys involved and show them what they're supposed to do. I know I'm going to be a leader on and off the court, just leading by example all the time. But as I said, just being a senior doesn't mean that I'm going to be the only leader out there. And now having new assistant coaches, new coach and everything, I think that my leadership is going to be really spread out through others, and I'm going to be able to lead by example as I used to even last year.
And you did mention a couple new coaches, including a new head coach. Will your game need to change at all with the implementation of a new system with Coach Patella?
I think that my game is not going to change that much as it was last year. I think I'm going to be able to kind of show more of other stuff that I can do besides just scoring in the paint and getting rebounds like I used to. I think that this year I'm going to be able to show a little bit more of how can I play in the new system and how can I get other players to play in the new system and be involved as well.
In terms of the overall record, I imagine 2014-15 was a bit of a frustrating year for the team. How quickly did you have to move forward and put that one in the rearview mirror?
I think that we all put that season behind us. We're all moving forward. We all have a new system now, players, new coach. I think that year is kind of being erased from our minds. We don't think about it anymore. Just go in the gym every day, trying to get better, trying to have as best season as we can, and not think about what happened in the past.
Now, you almost averaged a double-double with balanced scoring and rebounding numbers last year. What area of your own game would you like to see stepped up this season?
This season, I will definitely more shoot than I did last year. I think that I will score more. I will try to keep the balance between rebounds and scoring as I did last year. I was still planning to double-double this year. But I think that this year I'm going to focus more on scoring the ball more often and trying to have the same shooting percentage as I did last year. I think I did a pretty good job at that. So I'm trying to have as much efficient a year as I can.
Alex, thank you so much for your time this afternoon, and best of luck to you this upcoming year.